Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're going to be talking about something slightly different in regards to the restocks or other various things, because we actually have something that I personally played, I personally enjoyed, and game developers kind of somewhat losing all of their marbles. We actually had a brand new DLC in regards to Tiny Tina, which is actually one of the newer games out here. It literally just came out only a few weeks ago that already, as of right this second, has a now able to be bought and played and utilized DLC for the game itself. Now, I'm going to talk about this, rant about this, because I do kind of feel like it's somewhat ridiculous, and as well with Gearbox also having similar kind of issues with this in terms of dropping and kind of milking DLCs. I just feel like, as a person who has a YouTube audience, and I'm no one special, don't get me wrong, but I do kind of feel like I think a lot of you guys would agree, and especially with how bad a lot of these consumer practices have been recently, this is not cool. I'm not a big fan of seeing stuff like this. I'm not a big fan of people wasting their money. I'm not a big fan of these really kind of slotty and just mediocre DLCs that are just 100% cash grabs, even less whenever the game is also still just coming out. So we have a lot of stuff to go talk about, a lot of things to rant into, and I kind of want to hear your thoughts as well. And as well, if you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, and also the Twitter link down below for our brand new Twitter giveaway for PlayStation 5. We have the Twitter and Twitch stream down below in general, the Weeble Coinbase, and also the Xbox, in case you guys care about that. Link down below, up on sale on retail. So, if you guys don't know, the good old Borderlands 1, 2, and 3, you know, all those other various games from Gearbox, and Tiny Tina, which I want to first of all say, I did go and play. I streamed it up on Twitch, I had a very good first impression on it, I beat the entire game, and it wasn't the world's worst game. I enjoyed my time, it wasn't the best, but it was a nice solid like 7.5, 8, worth probably picking up on sale. There was enough stuff going on, the game was fun, I enjoyed it, it wasn't awful. But the thing I don't really like is, number one, the post-game, and number two, the fact that they literally did a DLC before the game has even first of all, gone on sale, and as well before the game has even really been out. Like, there are some people who probably bought this game, they're doing maybe like an hour or two every day, going through some of the side quests, that probably haven't even beaten the game yet, and there is already a paid DLC out. And it's not only just necessarily a bad DLC, it's one of the worst DLCs that has ever actually been dropped. And why is it bad? What's wrong with it? All of this. Let me talk about it. When it comes to Tiny Tina, when it comes to the game itself, the game is cool. It's like more of like Borderlands, but more of a mythical setting. It has like, you know, there's like Jack and the Beanstalk type levels, there's pirate levels under the seawater. Like, it's cool. Like, there's just a little variety of the game. The struggle is the DLC barely added literally anything out there at all. I'm not kidding. So I think there's actually been some speedruns up on YouTube who have literally beaten the entire DLC in like 5 minutes. And I'm not exaggerating. So people now are spending, thankfully the one kind of nice caveat for this, and where they're not that crazy, though this is still absolutely crazy to me, it's only at thankfully $10. But it's not worth, like, I don't even think it's even worth the $10. I think the game itself, for 60, a little steep, you put it like 30, 40 bucks, probably worth picking up, especially if you play with some friends. I think it's all around pretty cool. The DLC itself is basically nothing. It's literally just additional little stuff that probably should have been added first and foremost on the base game. And now that alone is annoying as is. Like, I'm not a big fan of DLC. There's also been a few other like various instances where people have been very rightfully so outraged, where even back in the era of like physical game disc only, that there were games launching with physical DLC on the disc itself, which is just abysmal. But this is also on that same boat, where like this DLC was clearly either just very shoddily put together within like a day or two, or as well was already preemptively made beforehand and should have probably just been proper end-game content for the game itself. And this is why I don't like the idea of having DLCs within the first like few weeks, because you need some time to let people beat the game. You need some time to make it seem where it's not like a cash grab. And if it was this close to completion, throw it into the main game and then make an even better DLC instead of trying to go milk your audience for as many DLCs as you possibly can. This is basically, everyone out there is outraged. Like, I'm personally am sad about it. Like, people in the actual like Wonderlands community, sad about it. Borderlands community, sad about it. Other articles, other people, everyone else, sad about it. And myself included, because I saw the trailers for the DLC called Coil Captors. I saw it. And I was thinking, okay, it's a little early, but you know, in a few more weeks, you know, whatever, maybe I just want new content. And then I was surprised to go and see that it was the release trailer, not like the preemptive, oh, in a few weeks, get excited for some new content. No, this was the actual trailer being like, yeah, it's out right now, go buy it. And I kind of sat there with my mouth wide open because I'm thinking, who in their right mind is buying this first and foremost? But I'm sure half, like I said, probably no one's really beating the game. I'm sure, I mean, I personally have myself, but it's just weird because there also is an end game post grind where you can kind of go and improve your weapons and kind of do like more of like a, kind of I guess like a chaos chamber for a lack of better terms. And with this, it actually did go at like, I think a little bit more extra upgrades in terms of like pure RNG, where I think you do like a bit of a dungeon, and you can't necessarily even get a full-on a guaranteed upgrade. It's kind of more of an RNG system, kind of like a weird like loot box type thing, where it's just you have a little like a roulette thing, you go beat the boss, and you kind of go from there. There's like nothing. And like I said, we've actually been seeing some speedruns of people beating this in like 5 minutes. So at this point, people are literally, number one, buying a game, DLC, for a game that just came out. Like, there's no words around it. This game is literally so close to release that I'm sure there's probably even still, like, random ads of, hey, available now, let alone the DLC. Number two is the fact that I think I saw even sponsors as well for the game up on Twitch from some of my Twitch streamer friends, which is totally cool if they do. I got nothing against it at all, but it's just the game itself is normally being promoted. Not the DLC. I think I think there was even cross promotions right now where some people are doing the normal game and some people are doing the DLC. Like, this is basically like me trying to go and like advertise brand new World of Warcraft stuff, and then there's a DLC that comes out next week and we're doing like a cross promotion because it's like literally the same thing. Like, it's kind of ridiculous if you really think about it. And let alone on the fact that there's still a lot of issues and bugs, which thankfully were most recently kind of patched out. There's a lot of different things and a lot of like just niceties to make the game quality of life a little bit better. But in my honest opinion, if you don't even have your like first big patch of like fixing all these small issues or bugs or game crashes, and you're already selling a DLC for a brand new area and brand new locations, although once again it's smaller, you just like, I feel like it's just soulless. I just feel like you're just trying to make money in any way you possibly can. And in all honesty, I think it is kind of an insult because people are spending $60 on the game and then having to spend an extra little bit of more money just to have more content if they already beat the game and did a lot of the post-game grinds. And even that is not really that much. You could probably get to that point probably like in 20 hours, if even then. Now, I'm not going to go and judge a 20-hour game. I feel like the main base game was cool. I'm here just to go critique the DLC, because the DLC was just a big disappointment. And it's been like not a one-time thing. Gearbox themselves have actually been kind of caught in this crossfire a little bit when it comes to kind of really mediocre, not good content DLCs. Maybe they just assume that people are going to buy it no matter what. Maybe they just think it's $10 and it's not the biggest deal. But at the end of the day, it's just kind of weakening the trust I feel like they have in their systems. I just feel like it's just weakening people who are very consistent in the game who want to go play these games. And at the end of the day, it just doesn't work because just this new DLC that's also apparently supposed to be another 4 weeks of different content, you know, like more of like, it's like a season pass for lack of better terms, a battle pass, if you will. With all that put together, it's just apparently supposed to be just different types of modifiers, because as you guys know in Borderlands games, you can change like the modifiers to make it like a slightly different play experience, a slightly different in general, but they have it as a baseline in the Borderlands 3 game. You're able to go do that on the bosses. So it's even more ridiculous and even more sad that basically the DLC they're trying to go and sell is first and foremost basically no content that should have just been, in my opinion, added in the baseline game to make the base game stronger. And then also, I just think the timing is insulting because it just came out. You gotta give it a little bit longer. Like, you gotta give people some breathing room before asking more and more and more money. And on top of that, too, it's just not good content. It's just one of those things where you would assume, if it was free, would just be a nice little cherry on top. You throw it in there with some bug fixes, make your community and everyone who just spent $60 in the game happy and excited and feeling thankful that they literally went and spent that money on the game, which rightfully so, they probably would be. They probably feel nice. But sadly, no, they want to go charge money for it and have a few more weeks of mediocre DLC, which once again could have all just been free or even included or even just been in the base game itself. Like, you don't always have to make it a DLC. It doesn't always have to be a microtransaction. It doesn't always have to be making you money. But that's just how some companies are. And it kind of makes me kind of just, like I said, just rub the wrong way because it just feels not needed. It just feels like it should be a nice bonus homage to kind of thank your, people for buying the game, because it was a pretty good game. I think it had okay reviews, content wasn't bad, I enjoyed it myself. Like, I'm literally telling you guys right now, the base game was cool. It's just the DLC makes me sad. And it makes me not want to keep on playing it because I know if I want to keep checking out different levels or seeing future DLCs, who would know that they might just go and include up another 3 of them before I'm even done with the first one. It's just kind of a bad take, and I'm not a big fan of it, and I kind of hope in the future they can kind of just at least slow down on the DLCs and make them slightly more better. So I don't know, kind of give me your thoughts if you guys have seen the news. If not, give me your thoughts on the overall, like, I guess, representation of the news. And I guess if you guys checked out the game, let me know if you guys like it. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 Digital Console controller. Twitter and Twitch stream as well, linked down below. And sign up for Weeble, sign up for Coinbase, and sign up for all the little various things too as well. The Xbox is also up in stock. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. You guys are all beautiful. And I'll see you guys later on play tomorrow for more videos.